Welcome to the Richard Sherman podcast. If you're new, hit that sub button. We're here to give you great NFL content, game breakdowns, player interviews, and stories from around the league. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Richard Sherman podcast. We got an incredible guest, one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League from the New England Patriots, Christian Gonzalez. Appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Anytime. Well, I got a lot of questions. Obviously, last year your season was cut short by injury, but you were strapping before the injury. You had some great games. Talk to me through your rookie year and even your draft process, how it felt to get drafted. Did you expect to go there where you did? Did you expect to go to New England? And how did you feel when you got selected?
The whole draft process was crazy. It was surreal. To be honest, I mean, I really didn't think me or like my team, we didn't really think I was going to fall out of the top 10, but it happened for a reason. I mean, it was a blessing to be able to come, to the Patriots, and it was a real cool moment when I found out, I was the first DB drafted since McCourty in the first round by Hall of Fame by Belichick. So that was amazing. And rookie year, it was fun while I was out there, and then injuries happened. So it was tough, but I think I learned from it and was able to grow this offseason. So I think it helped in the back end. No question.
I think they just don't value even this year's draft. You look up and you're like, a defensive player didn't get picked till I think Byron Murphy went to the Seahawks at 16, and it's just wild. So I don't think it was you. It's that everybody likes these receivers and they're dancing, and then it's the quarterbacks and stuff like that. But it must have felt really good to get picked by Belichick, because Belichick has he got a feel for DBs. They you can say whatever you want about some of the other positions, but for DB, he has a good eye, a good feel, especially what he likes to do. It's a man-to-man scheme. They like guys that could mano-a-mano all day. So talk me through your relationship with him once you got drafted.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was a surreal moment, especially when I found, I didn't actually know that stat until, they told me. But it was real cool. It was a blessing to be able to learn from him. He and I are kind of like, we don't really talk a lot. There's not, there wasn't a lot of, conversations. We're both not, we're not the rah-rah guys. So, being able to learn from him and take the things he taught me was like real helpful and real cool, and I had a fun time doing it.
Well, I know you're on the play. You don't like to talk a lot, but I need you're gonna have to talk today to me. You didn't got tasked with just about every game you following. If they have a number one, a true one receiver, it looks like they've got you following. Is that something you take pride in? You take personally, or is this something Coach Mayo or DC asks you to do, or is just something that's within y'all scheme?
Yeah, I definitely take pride in it. So it's kind of both. If they're asking me to do it, yeah, I'm gonna go do it. So it's definitely fun. Being able to go up against the league's best week in and week out. So that's what you dream as a corner. It's you want to go up against the best, and I embrace that challenge for sure.
Your second career game, you played the Miami Dolphins, and you got that interception. And I've been looking at the tape, and it still looks like invert 2 to me, but I could be wrong. Everybody runs all kind of crazy stuff these days, but within that scheme, Belichick scheme, and even now, y'all run that zero, y'all bounce back, y'all give zero looks, and then you got so many different responsibilities. Talk me through that play when you got your first pick.
Yeah. We was in an inverted 2. So I was playing the safety, the deep half at that point. And, I seen Tyreek was kind of the only threat on that side. And everybody knows he can roll. So, just tried to get out of there, made a good speed turn and was able to go up there and get the ball.
When you left Colorado, you played really good football at Colorado, but what went into the decision to go to Oregon?
It was really my DB coach, Demetrius Martin. He left Colorado and went to Oregon. And I committed to Colorado. He was at Colorado, so being able to learn from him and play under him, it was a lot of fun. He played the position. He did a lot. So once he went to Oregon, I was like, I gotta finish what I started with him. And, he told me I could go to college and leave in 3 years and be a first round pick. So, I mean, believed in him and just went with him to Oregon.
He didn't lie to you. He
Yeah,
didn't lie
nah.
to you. I love it when a plan comes together. So in this scheme, y'all running a lot of zero, where you gotta trust your instincts, you gotta trust your pass rush. Your pass rush has gotten home. There's been some guys that have taken steps forward on that D line. Talk to me about your teammates and the impact and growth that you've seen.
Yeah, the whole defense. It's fun to play in this defense. I mean, we do so much. It's an aggressive defense. It's especially with second year guys like Keion.
Hmm.
Me and him we talk a lot. We got the same agent. So I mean, being able to know he gonna go up there and do his job, and the whole D line, they're gonna get back there, and that only helps the secondary so much. So being able to know I have a great front seven and that they're gonna affect the quarterback is real helpful.
When you're coming out of high school, what made you want to play corner? I mean, you in Texas and y'all take football so dang serious in Texas. What
Yeah.
it ain't a lot of kids these days. We talked about the receivers. Everybody wants to play receivers. Everybody wants to catch touchdown passes. What made you want to play corner?
Well, really, I played receiver my whole life. So honestly, I played like in high school. I played both ways. Was really playing receiver. Mostly. I played corner. Just being athletic, just going out there and playing it. But my corner coach in high school, Coach Grady, he was telling me he thinks I could play this position at a high level. So junior year is kind of when I started like actually going, and I started going to my trainer now, Flight. Once I started going to him, and we took off, and it took off from there.
Hey, that's exactly how my journey started. When I was in high school, I was straight receiver. I'm catching 100 yards a game. I'm feeling good.
Yeah,
Pete Carroll comes to campus and come to Compton, and for Pete Carroll to come to Compton was crazy to me. But he went to all the hoods because that's where he was. He was Uncle Pete back then, and he was like, "Man, I think you could be a lockdown corner for USC in the future." And I was like, he's the freaking godfather. They were winning national championships then, and ever since then, I had really only dabbled at corner because one of our other corners had a rough game in a championship game, and I hadn't played it all year, and they were like, "Hey, go in there and stop him from catching the ball." And I was like, "Hey,
right.
I figured out. Like, I'm
Yeah,
tired of watching
right,
this." And
right. We should.
yeah, and so we got to college, and I played receiver my first couple years, then switched and played corner ever since. I didn't go first round. I should have switched earlier. I might have had a chance. But what motivates you? What pushes you to keep going? What pushes you to get out of bed every day and grind?
Yeah, really, it's my family. My dad, especially. Him being from Colombia, and his story is it inspires me every day. The fact that he was able to leave everything he knew and come to America and not even speak uh, English, for him to do that and chase his dream playing basketball and then just raise a successful family. Being able to look back at that, it's not hard for me to get up and go to work in the morning. So I mean, that's what gets me going.
That's awesome, man. It sounds like a great man. My dad was a trash truck driver and 30 years and just got up at 3:45 every day and went to work. And when you just see that kind of work ethic, it pushes you and
Yeah,
gives you
for
a lot
sure.
fewer excuses.
TD, Tutty, taking it to the house, in for 6. Whatever you want to call a touchdown, one thing's for sure, touchdowns matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. On the ground, in the air, from special teams or defense, we don't care how they score them. We just want to bet on touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first NFL bet? Try something simple, like a player to score a touchdown. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your bet today. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets instantly and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Richard. That's code Richard for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, and you get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Then you got a sister that hurdles, right?
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
You got 2 sisters that they both hurdle?
Yeah. So I mean, well, the oldest one, Melissa, she's the one that ran in the Olympics. She ran the 400 hurdles. Then I got another sister, Samantha. She ran hurdles in high school and in college. She went to Miami, but she's still running. But she's just recently switched to the 200.
Oh, okay.
So she's now running the 2.
How is it when all y'all get together? You know, after obviously y'all got raised, got a good dad, got a good family, and have gone on to have so much success. It must be really cool when you all get together and can talk about it and just see and appreciate how far you guys have come.
Oh, for sure. I mean, anytime we get together, it's, we always get to arguing about, competitive, who's the fastest, who does this, who does that. But I mean, it's amazing. We all, support each other. And I think that's also one of the biggest things that I didn't really realize until now, like looking back on it, being able to, watch them and watch their success as I was growing up, that seeing them do their sport at such a high level, being able to respect that and learn from them, even though it's 2 different sports, there's still so much you can take away from it. So being able to lean on them and that was real helpful.
Yeah, it's always good to have a great example in front of you. You got an Olympian in front of you. I don't care if it's tennis, you know what I mean? It shows your work ethic, dedication, probably professionalism. Like she had to break some barriers down so that you could get through them and know what it looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
So what is your favorite thing? You've been in New England 2 years now. Tell me some stuff you like to do. You got an apartment, you got a house. I don't know a lot about Foxborough.
I mean, it's different for sure, especially going from Texas to Oregon all the way to the East Coast. I mean, it's still getting used to it, but I mean, it's cool. I enjoy it. It's quiet. I'm a quiet guy, so I don't like being in big cities and all that. So it's a good fit for me. One of my favorite things about being out here is you get all the seasons. Which in Texas you don't get all the seasons. You get summer and winter. That's it. So being out here, being able to see, like right now the leaves are changing. It's time to turn into fall or getting close to winter. So I mean, it's little things like that I never really experienced. That's some of my favorite things of being up here.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. I'm from California, so you get no seasons in California. It's literally 75 and sunny year round, which ain't nothing to complain about, I guess. But first time I ever saw snow, boy, I was out there. It wasn't even snow; it was just ice on the ground. I was in there trying to make snow angels.
Yeah. Right,
looking like a damn fool. Did you have any corners that you studied coming out that you patterned your game after? Obviously, you in New England. Revis played in New England. Ty Law, some real great DBs played for that organization. But who did you try to pattern your game after?
Yeah, my biggest and most, someone I still watch pretty much every day is Pat Surtain was kind of my first. He was my first corner that I really started to model my game after, and I kind of got that in college just because my coach was always, preaching about technique, and being able to see, somebody that I'm kind of physically around the same size, around, the same weight, kind of like that, play with such, great technique. He was the first person I found, and, I've been studying him pretty much every day. I mean, I feel like if you're a DB, you got to watch a little Jalen Ramsey. Can't leave him out.
No,
but Pat is definitely who I watch the most.
Pat is the class of the NFL right now. I mean, when you look at his tape, it's literally press off, it's teach tape, it's patient, it's deliberate. They're trying to pick him, they're trying to freaking run crossers, he has incredible, he's not grabbing, he's not pulling. That boy looked like he is just chilling on the beach, having a good time. I love watching Pat, man. He's one of the best I've seen, and I just hope he gets more books, man. These quarterbacks are kept so clean now. It's so hard to get your hands on football.
Oh yeah,
it's so tough.
It's real tough.
But in y'all scheme, and I don't want, and I'm gonna preface it with this because CJ Stroud got talking about people giving away these secrets. I'm not trying to get your secrets. I'm not trying to give away anything, but I love talking ball, and it's hard not to talk ball without talking coverages and schemes. And I wanted to talk about the play, the play with DK, because again, y'all coverages, and not to bring up bad plays, because you're one of the best corners in the National Football League. So this is not a shot by any man. I just want to understand something, because it looks to me like inside of y'all zero, when y'all get that look, sometimes they'll motion you out, and then obviously quarterbacks see it and they try to check out of stuff. They try to check out and see y'all in there, and y'all look like y'all have checks that change when they change, which is one of the craziest, coolest things I've seen. And I'm like, if they really check it when the quarterback's checking, this is wow. And people were telling me I'm crazy. Like Fitz played with Flores for a while, and they're all family, that New England family. And he's like, they're not checking. They're just faking and running zero. And I'm like, no, they're definitely checking. I don't know if it's palms or what, but they're communicating. So they're not just running zero and sitting flat like that. Yeah. Tell me about how it is to be in that kind of scheme where you have to make those kind of decisions on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's real cool, playing a defense that has so many different, like you said, checks. And it's not just like, all right, they line up in this. All right, we're going to play this. It's, they line up like this and they motion like this. We can check it too. So, I mean, being able to do that is real fun. But, I mean, it comes from playing with Jabril and playing with Pep and playing with Doug. And they've seen so much. They've seen so much ball and they're real smart guys. So being able to trust that they're going to be in the right spot and they know everybody else going to be in the right spot, it all comes from that. And, we make it a communication is key. So, I mean, we could technically be in the wrong check, but as long as we all in the same check, we good. So, I mean, we just rely on communication and being able to change it up, how it looks to the QB and how it looks to the offense, make certain things look like certain things. And so it's a lot of fun being able to do that.
My great coach Rissard said, look, as long as we all wrong, we all right. As long as we all wrong together, we all right. We doing the same thing. That's really cool, because it's always tough when they motion the back out and they really, ID the coverage and know you in man or know you in zero. You just kind of sitting there like, I know it's probably slot fade or double move or, then you start trying to get through what it is. But if you can adjust too and be like, y'all thought we was in zero, got him. That's sweet. I wish, boy. We used to sit in cover 3. We made it work. Now. But boys knew what we was in. We in 3-1, fire zone 3, or at third and long, maybe soft 2. But we only played like 4 or 5 coverages. So it's like it's not crazy complicated. We just got the personnel that's gonna make it tough.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Who's the toughest receiver you've gone against so far? Ooh. And it don't got to be a big name, because you asked me, Stevie Johnson was the one that gave me hell. He gave me hell for one game, longest game of my life. The next time I saw him, I picked him twice on Thanksgiving and ate turkey on the field. So I got it settled, but he gave me hell.
Yeah. I talk about it a lot. When people ask me this, I say AJ. AJ's up there. AJ Brown for sure. He got all the tools. He's strong, fast, smart. He understands football, and I think a lot of people don't give him as much credit for how quick he is, especially being that size. That that doesn't really get put into his game plan, or not his game plan, but his traits. Everybody just talks about how big he is and how fast he is, but he's real explosive and real quick, and he can get in and out of his breaks real fast. So he's a tough receiver for sure.
No, it's definitely a tough challenge. With so many tools and tabs and never enough time, growing a business can feel pretty overwhelming. You end up spending more time organizing documents and data than actually connecting with prospects and customers. That's where HubSpot steps in. It's the all-in-one customer platform for growing better. With HubSpot, marketers generate better leads, sales builds tighter relationships with customers, and closes more deals. And service supports your customers at scale with tools like HubSpot's AI chatbot and knowledge base, meaning your marketers, sales reps, and service teams actually have time to do what they're hired to do. And when they grow, the sky's the limit for your business too. Grow better, faster with HubSpot's all-in-one customer platform. Visit HubSpot.com to get started today. What were your goals heading into this season?
Yeah, this season, one of my biggest goals I made was not even like a stat or anything like that. It was really just go have fun. Going into my rookie year, I was like, all right, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then I got hurt. So, I mean, that was my first time in my career I ever got hurt.
Oh, wow.
First time since Little League that I ever, missed a game. So, I mean, it was definitely a change. Sitting in this offseason and just thinking it was, coming to this season, I was more like, okay, like, let me enjoy the moment. Let me enjoy that. Like, I get to play football for my work. So something as small as that, it sounds cliche, but that's kind of my biggest goal is just, go out there, don't take it for granted and just have fun. Because at the end of the day, I'm playing a kid's game for work.
Yeah, it took me a while to get back to that in my playing career. It's just because you get so locked in, in the grind, you're like day to day, like I got to cover this, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. You're like, hey, I got to cover this dude. And people don't understand how high anxiety playing corner is.
Yeah.
This is a high anxiety position.
Yeah.
Not because we ain't confident, we don't think we could do it, just because it takes one play to ruin your damn day.
Oh yeah.
I got a lot of respect for everything you've done. And who you are as a person, as a corner. I love your tech, and I love the comparison between Surtain because that's exactly who you are. You do a great job from off. You do a great job from press. You're a technician within within y'all scheme. It's really cool to watch. What did you do different? Because obviously last year was your rookie year, so your offseason was different. It's chicken with your head cut off, going crazy. This is your first offseason as a pro. How'd you spend it?
I definitely took time to, be with my family.
Yeah.
Like you said, that jump from college, you play your last college game and then you have maybe, I think I had like 3 days before I left for combine training. So, I mean, you don't really get that time, and that you go from there all the way till season and then you finally get that break. But I mean, mine came earlier than expected, but, I was able to, get back with my family and just mentally get better, breathe and take time to hang out with them. But then I also was able to study the game a lot more and learn more. So, I feel like I have a good perspective as from a defensive mind, which I mean, there's still so much I can learn, but I was able to learn more from the offensive side. And like one thing Belichick always talked about, he would always ask us like, who's the offensive coordinator? And my rookie year, I'm like at first I didn't understand like, all right, he's the offensive coordinator, okay, like so what? But now it's like in the offseason I was able to learn like, okay, offensive coordinator, he came from this tree, they did this, they like to attack a corner like me this way. So I mean, that type of thing I was able to pick up on this offseason.
Bro, you're miles and light years ahead of a lot of other people. And then you have the talent, you have the body, you have everything you need, all the tools. But that part of the game, the sooner and the better you can grasp that, oh my God, it's going to be such an easier game because you're going to have your notebook and you're going to be like, is this Kyle Shanahan tree? Is this that spread tree? Is this West Coast or is this that tight West Coast? Like, hey, where did he come from? Was he an assistant? Right. Okay, so I see it. They're going to be outside zone, mid zone. They're going to run these crossers. They're going to be condensed. They're going to run spray outs and spray posts. And okay, who's their quarterback? Hey, this is what he likes. Because the receiver at that point doesn't matter. That's why a guy who ran 4.5 and had a really suspect backpedal could sit there and get 41 interceptions and lead the league in a lot of his years and be elite because I don't really care about none of that stuff. All I care about is the scheme. I care about the plays. Can I recognize the formations? Can I recognize the motions and diagnose them within a few seconds? That was my superpower. My superpower wasn't running 4.3. I could jump pretty high, and I can catch the football. But I started the game that way. That was my freaking from the beginning. That was all I thought about. I was like, hey, if I can recognize the plays in the scheme, the receiver won't matter. I'm going against Calvin, but he got to run a go route. He got to run a post. He got to run a curl. Right. So, and I just got to beat him to the ball. That's knowledge. Well, you got any questions for me? I don't want to, make this all about you. If you got anything you want to ask me.
What would you say your welcome to the NFL moment was?
That's That's a great question. We played the Cincinnati Bengals. It was my first start. And I'm playing AJ Green. AJ was top 5, and I'm 5th round. And so they're like, oh man, this rookie's about to get cooked by AJ Green. He's about to probably go for 150. And I got an interception like a couple drives into the game. So I'm talking cash. And I'm feeling good. I got it off my chest. And then I'm playing cover 3. I'm guarding one receiver deep, and he runs me off. And we're running cover 3. And they throw the ball to the fullback in the flat. And our buzz defender, our backer, didn't get out there. Like, I don't know what he was doing. Was he blitzing, not paying attention? But it's just 60 yards between me and him.
Right.
And so I'm like, damn. So I turn around, I'm running full speed. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to chop him down. When I get there, I'm just going to hit him in his knee, and his play's going to be over. Yeah. I get there, I go down to his knee. I don't know what kind of flexibility training this man was doing, but he got his helmet down there where I was. And and I remember getting up, and I saw half of me was black and white and half of me was color. And I was like, oh, shit. It's different. It's different. Right. But it was my first start, so I wasn't going out. I told my teammates, give me up. Just get me back to the huddle.
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah, for sure.
That was my welcome. It was not fun. But from a receiver standpoint, this guy named Brandon Lloyd, boy, his releases were like that. He's not a famous receiver that nobody really, talks about. But if you look him up, you'll find he was one of them. He played for New England for a little while. But he just was out there. Him and Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald gave me another welcome to the NFL moment, grabbed me by the back of my head on a release. He released and then grabbed me by the back of my head and pulled me through and then caught the pass 2 steps later. It's wild. Right. Yeah, he betted me. What else you got?
What's something you got for me? What's a tip or anything?
A lot of it is stuff you've been already talking about. Just studying concepts, studying route tree, studying, you play receiver. And so that a lot of concepts are married. And I'm sure the Patriots do a good job of schooling y'all on, slant flat, two to the flat means one's coming in most of the time and stuff like that. And OVS are all these combinations. But what I tell you is something it sounds like you got a good grasp on too. And in the off season, you got to have a second, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks to step away from the game and reset your brain. It's too stressful of a position we play. You're too tight all the time. You got to be that way. It's how you got to be wired to play corner at a high level in this league. But you got to take the time to take a deep breath, sit on the beach somewhere with your family, connect, think about something other than football, and then go dive right back into it and take care of your body. Spend money and spend time taking care of your body. It's totally worth it. Get the massages, get the game readies or Normatex or whatever you got to spend the money on your body that's necessary because it's always worth it. Yeah, you're a great corner, so I don't want to talk to you like I talk to other people. But just treat the two imposters the same. Never let nobody get you out your game. Never let a bad play get you down. Like, it's always a good play right behind it. It's always a good play hiding right in the near future if you can get your mind around getting there. And be a great teammate. Always be a great teammate. I think championships are won by teams not just because they're the most talented team, but because they care about one another. They hold each other accountable and with love and respect, and they elevate each other. They encourage one another. It's something to be said. You talked about your relationship with Keion and how you guys always talk. Like, it's something to be said about being in adversity and chaos and a guy having a tough day and somebody being there for him and being like, bro, hey, I know you care more than that. I know you didn't mean to do that. Like, hey, we got this. We got your back. Like, there's something to be said about that. And I don't think we win a Super Bowl, and I don't think we're as great of a defense if we're not doing that every single day. And it comes from every angle. It's not just one guy doing it. It's 10 other guys that feel the same way. And, I give up a catch and I'm like, bro, that was first down. Like, of course I didn't mean to give the catch up. I'm trying my best. And I don't look over and see my teammates like, you know what I mean? Earl coming up to me like, ooh, they better be lucky you didn't pick that one. Ooh, they lucky you didn't pick that one, and that just raises the level of the team. It raises the confidence, because not everybody's you. And not everybody's going into the game, no matter how they look, as confident as you are and as ready to play. And sometimes you giving them that reassurance stabilizes their ship. Like that might be the reason they have a good game, because they were sitting there like, man, I don't know about today, you know, and now you came up to them like, hey, bro, I see you. I see you been working. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's get them. And then in the game, you're like, bro, I see you working. I see that was a heck of a play. Bro, you have no idea how far that goes.
Right. So I appreciate that. That's real.
All love. All love. Well, I appreciate you joining me. I know this is your off day, and I don't want to hold you up too much. You know, I know you got other things to do. If you don't mind, I want to have you on later in the year, you know, when you get you a few more books so we can talk about them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Would love to.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, brother. Say hello to the family. All love.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.